Hello, everyone. Welcome to Walk the Parks. My name is Blake. Today, myself and Elizabeth are going to go through the headwear to wear on a thru hike. I've been lucky enough to complete over 20,000 miles of long distance backpacking, including two full thru hikes of the Appalachian Trail, both northbound and southbound, as well as the Pacific Crest Trail, Pacific Northwest Trail, and I've even dreamed, planned, and completed my own 3,000-mile route from Yellowstone to the Grand Canyon, connecting 13 national parks. Elizabeth is also a lifelong avid outdoors woman, and she has recently completed a thru hike of the Appalachian Trail. If you do find this video helpful, please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting. We also have several other videos about what to wear on a thru hike, so please check those out. Thank you so much. And without further ado, headwear to wear on a thru hike. All right, so now I am going to talk about kind of headwear stuff. So I'll just go ahead and put my glasses on my head. This is like a lot of times how I'll walk around if it's a little bit colder. Actually, usually not. I do sometimes, like, first I have a buff on, and this is a Buff brand buff, although the cheap generic ones I find are good too. A lot of times I will kind of vary things up. Like, I'll either wear it like this, so it covers the ears and you can have a little bit of warmth. Also, in like windy conditions, it can keep your hat on. So if you're on top of a mountain or something, you have your hat on. Also, combining it with the sun hoodie, which we'll talk about later, kind of gives a lot of options, right? Because right now I have both of them up, or I could just go and take the buff down so that I have just this, or I can, like, take both of them down and then take the buff off. And I find that system for me works extremely well, because some days, you're going in and out like sun and then shade. So like the temperature difference could be pretty high. Probably not as true on the AT as like some other trails like in the West, because you're like at a, like in the morning, maybe it's like super shady on certain like aspects, but then you go and other aspects are really sunny. But again, you can kind of adjust at your like kind of heat tolerance like all the time, and I find that super helpful. Also, I have a hat on. I usually just wear a random like baseball hat. Like, this is a Walk the Parks one, but like, I don't know. I haven't had just one that fits okay is the only thing I really look for. My only tip for hats is really like, if you want to keep them, like her hat was more like malleable, but if this hat has structure to it, if you want to keep the structure, just make sure to wash them by hand. Like, if you throw them in the washer, it'll get like super deformed and stuff. And like, some people don't care about that, but for other people, maybe you want to keep a hat with structure, which is like I prefer to do. So just wash it. Like, you can just use like dish soap and like wash your hat like that. Sunglasses kind of feel the same way Elizabeth does. Like, for the most part, it doesn't matter too much unless you have like prescription glasses or some sort of like super sensitive eyes or something like that. However, I have kind of experimented with a bunch of different like lenses and stuff. I do really like Oakley lenses. I like the Prism, or like I think Smith has something that's similar where it like kind of alters the colors. Like, and it's just, I don't know the exact technology behind it, but it's like they're really cool compared to a lot of other glasses. And for me, I kind of have a larger head, so I just need to have like a little bit like larger pair of sunglasses. So these are like Oakley Holbrook XL, I think they're called. But then something else I've been experimenting with, I don't like the lenses as much on these, but everything else I like better than the Oakleys. These are Pepper Sea Dwellers, or Peppers Sea Dwellers, and they're a little bit more reasonable on the like nice glasses front. I think these are like $60 or something like that. But the cool part, as if you can see, is that they have like this kind of extra piece on here to block the sun, and I find that super helpful if you have sensitive eyes, because like a lot of times if you're wearing like normal sunglasses and the sun is behind you, it can kind of go in and reflect like back on your eyes, and for me that's really annoying. I do have pretty sensitive eyes, so I find if I wear these with the kind of blocking things on the side, and then there's the sun blocking things on the top a little bit too, that it actually is really helpful in like the desert or like the West. And I really like these. There are several companies that offer other glacier glasses that are similar or have like significant additional like coverage, but those tend to be a lot more expensive. So consider these. I kind of found these randomly. If you have other like ones you found that are like this, please send them my way. I think these are really cool and like actually worth the not having like the Prism type of technology. So lastly, I do bring just a beanie. This is like kind of a random one from the Grand Canyon. It's one of my favorite places. So I mean, this is just a regular like nylon like synthetic hat. You were kind of suggesting wool. Sometimes I will bring a smart wool hat or something like that. Or this way is like an ounce more for the high fashion awards. Kind of going
Super important on trail.
trying to be as stylish as possible at camp.
Yeah.
In my sleeping bag, like the only place I wear this.
All those mosquitoes that see you.
Yeah. But I'll wear this. I'll almost never wear this hiking because I do have a tendency to sweat a lot. Maybe like in the morning for like the first 5 minutes. But I would just really caution you wearing anything heavy in the morning. That first 5 minutes, sometimes it can be annoying to like take your pack off, but man, take it off before you start sweating because you do not want to get stuff like your hat and puffy wet. So anyway, that's pretty much headwear. And we'll move on to like our tops next.
Okay, so our first category is going to be headwear. So I wore this Patagonia duckbill hat for the entirety of the trail, started with it, ended with it. I had a lot of success with this hat. I will say I randomly chose it at REI. It was the one I thought looked best. But really liked it. It's super lightweight, dries very quickly. It's got kind of this like mesh material in the back. So like very breathable, lots of ventilation. And then it has this like tiny little bill. My friends always said I looked like a Boy Scout or something. Like it just like is kind of a weird shape, but it's nice because it's like not in your face too much and but still provides some protection. But yeah, highly recommend this hat. I feel like any hat kind of works, but I liked this one just because of its like.
You carried it the whole way?
I carried it the whole way.
And
yes.
you would throw it in the washing machine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, and the dryer.
Nice.
Yeah, held up through both. For colder weather, I use this North Face beanie. I've had this for a few years. It's still in really good shape. Use this the whole trail as well, mostly just at camp at nighttime. If it was really cold, like in the morning, sometimes I'd wear it just to like start the day and get warmed up. But yeah, also washed it in the washer, dried it in the dryer, held up very well the entire time. Yeah, again, any beanie will kind of work, frankly, but I kind of like this knit material. Like it stays really warm. I had friends that used kind of a like lighter weight, not like this like heavy wool, but like a synthetic kind of thing, and it didn't quite work as well for them. So something like wool, I feel like it's gonna work pretty well. And then the only other thing for headwear is gonna be sunglasses. So these are Gooders. They're like $25. Definitely the like cheap option. But super helpful in terms of like if you lose them or they get broken, high probability of that on trail. Easy to replace. Most outfitters carry Gooders. And then the only thing with these is I would not get the polarized lenses because they will rub off very quickly, and it just looks kind of weird. So buy the Gooders without the polarized lenses, or sunglasses without polarized lenses that are cheap.
So do you think it matters really like for sunglasses or?
No, the AT is like, I was gonna say, yeah, the AT is kind of like shady. I just mostly used them in town.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think really a lot of times sunglasses, like obviously you have a prescription or something, it'll make a big difference. But really anything that's like has like UV blocking like properties, probably a good idea to carry them. And beyond that, maybe it doesn't matter. I'll go into a little bit more detail though.
Yeah, sure. And yeah, these are like meant for athletic performance or whatever. So like they stay on your face really well. They're not, if you're really sweaty, they're not going to slide around. I really only use these in town, and if it was like we were on like an open bold or something and it was sunny. But yeah, since the AT is so green and shady, it's like I didn't really wear them too much on trail. But
cool.
Yeah.
Fair enough.